And Rich Trapper tapping in, TNN Trap News Network. You feel me?
Rich Trapper.
The homie wanted you to whitelist this shit too.
Who?
Rich Trapper.
Rich Trapper?
He be reacting to your shit. You back in the same, like cracking the same, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for more of this good content we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. Good news you can use, good knowledge you throw. You can't get nobody's college though, big dog. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe for all this good content we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, man. Hit that subscription button, become part of this Rich Trapper Mafia. Hit that notification bell at the top. Hit all stay tapped in for the latest and the greatest of what we got going on here at TNN Trap News Network. We not finna hold y'all no longer, man, but make sure y'all hit that description and jump into this new content. Diddy has been denied bail for the second time. We finna find out why. Let's get into this, man. Let's go.
Sean Diddy Combs' case. He's back in federal court today in Manhattan, this time trying to secure bail. The music mogul was denied bail yesterday after his arrest on sex trafficking and other charges. Prosecutors say that the charges stem from years of sexual abuse and threats against women. He has pleaded not guilty to those charges, and he made that plea yesterday. I want to bring in ABC News' Alex Stone, along with ABC News legal contributor and trial attorney Brian Buckmeyer for more on this. So, again, we're still waiting to hear the judge's decision today because, again, his defense team is trying to get him out on this $50 million bond. And, Alex,
$50 million is barnacles.
Oh, my producer just told me in my ear he has been ordered held again. Okay, so the Judge Andrew Carter has decided that Sean Diddy Combs will be held again in a federal facility. So let's jump off right there here, Alex, starting with you. We're learning from our Aaron Katersky, who's in that courtroom, that already this judge was pretty skeptical of some of the arguments that the defense team was making on Diddy's behalf.
Yeah, and that order just coming down right now, Kana. Through the day today, it appeared that the judge was from the beginning skeptical about this, talking about that video that was seen around the world in L.A. of Combs allegedly attacking his then girlfriend.
Not no alleged. Diddy field goal punted Cassie Ventura. Now, you know what I'm saying? They said that she is going to have some dirt on her hands, too, because she wasn't involved in a couple 1-2 steps like Sierra, so she ain't the cleanest, you know what I'm saying? But she did, in fact, suffer from his abuse.
The judge saying, what's love got to do with that? As the defense had been saying, that was a relationship that was deteriorating.
And it's a woman judge, a white woman, what it's looking like judge. I don't know, it might be just a Spanish woman, but a woman judge of lighter complexion. She not going for you kicking that girl, bro. She's not going for it. The judge is supposed to be non-biased, of course, but she's still a human, bro. She's not going for that. She's not finna see that as love. She's finna see that as a 1-2 step like Sierra and wash your ass up.
It was nothing more than consensual activity that then had deteriorated from there. But prosecutors said that Combs is a danger, clear evidence of dangerousness, a long pattern of abuse, they were saying today. But the defense offered the sun and the moon, saying, we will do anything if you allow him to post bail. $50 million bail. They would have off-duty police outside his home, control who comes and goes, take away his cell phone, anything that the judge was willing to do. And the word just coming in now, the judge saying no way. He will remain in jail.
He certainly will. And again, sharing reporting from...
Bro's willing to be on punishment. Take away the cell phone. He finna treat Diddy like a second grader.
Aaron Katersky, that is in that courtroom, he said that Combs did not appear to react, but that he had his eyes cast downward while he was seated at the defense table when this all came down. And so, Brian Buckmeyer, to you. The judge said the defense proposal to this bail package was insufficient, and that the government, on the other side of that, provided sufficient evidence that Combs is a danger to the community and a danger to obstruct justice and intimidate witnesses. And Brian, I find some of that language particularly interesting when you think about what his defense attorney...
Well, that language is interesting because prior to all this, he's already reached out to some of the... Diddy personally, not his team, not his representatives. Diddy personally has already reached out to some of these victims to make threats, to give bribes, to say, I'll give you this, hey, I'll do that, hey, let's not do this, let's not do that, let's figure it out like this, let's figure it out like that, in order to obtain... they're not testimony, they won't testify on them, or they're signed like NDAs and blah, blah, blah. And those same people said no, and now they telling the judge, hey, well, bro's already trying to get us to do this, get us to do that, wooty bam, all this, that, blah, blah, blah. So he's making them look bad. And then in addition, we saw what happened with Cassie, and then on top of that, they know that he's chillied up, so he might go around and just say, I'm out of here, and just skip town entirely.
We're trying to argue, and they were essentially trying to paint a picture of what it would look like if he was to be allowed out on bail, with security teams monitoring his comings and goings, who would come into the residence. And Brian, his own defense lawyer used the language, what I'm trying to fashion is a situation where any witness intimidation would be virtually impossible.
Yeah, and that was the issue that we saw with the initial judge yesterday, that in evaluating...
ugly work, bro. You just washed yourself.
In this case, for the possibility of bond and or bail, that there's always the issue of flight, whether or not someone's going to flee the state, flee the country, whatever it may be, and not come back to court, but also whether or not that Sean Combs' power and influence could be a force of threatening, witness intimidation, or reoccurring or reoffending in a way that would harm other women in his inner circle, so to speak. And so the defense is trying to fashion a way of saying he has no opportunity to intimidate witnesses, even though there's alleged evidence that he's reaching out to some of those women to try to ensure that they're not coming forward after that Cassie lawsuit came forward. But it seems like, as you quoted the judge, that was insufficient. That whatever the bail package the defense tried to put forward was not enough for this judge, Judge Carter, to say that he would be a safety to the community and would return back to court on each and every date.
I mean, right. Again, there was a head of a private security firm even appearing in court. There would be a pre-approved list of visitors, and Combs would have no access to his cell phone or the internet under this defense proposal that, again, was denied.
Then how can you guarantee that he won't have access to the internet? I can see the cell phone being maybe not, because then you have tablets, laptops, and so many different devices that don't count as cell phones. But it's 2024. How you gonna say that this nigga not finna have the internet? How? That's like finna say I'm finna cut off air. Like, what do you mean, bro? If your neighbor got a Wi-Fi, you got a router. Like, what are you talking about? You can't cut off the internet, nigga.
Denied by the judge today, so he will remain in a federal facility until court. And Alex, as we read some of these notes again from Aaron Katersky, it was really interesting when the defense, tried to talk about the trust that they were trying to build with the court in terms of getting Diddy into New York ahead of this and ahead of his arrest, knowing that this was coming. And at one point, the defense called Diddy an actual altar boy. Alex, the judge pushed back on that pretty quickly.
The judge did.
Calling your client an altar boy when he's in here for SA, that R word, S trafficking, arson, physical, mental, verbal, emotional, financial, ABUSC, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean altar boy? Like, what church is this? What church was you an altar boy at? I don't ever want to go to Church of General Butt Naked, that same church that Flockiana be at, that same church, the General Butt Naked church is where Diddy was an altar boy at. Got it.
Push back on that, saying no, that you can't say that. And they said today he is eminently trustworthy is the quote that was used in an argument to the court, saying he came to New York. He is not going to flee. We're going to put all of these different aspects into play, and he will put up $50 million, his Miami home. His family members would sign off. He wouldn't be able to travel. Women would not be able to come into his home. And then they went beyond that. When the judge seemed like he was skeptical today, they said, well, all right, what about these other things of putting police outside his home, keeping a log of visitors coming in and out? But the judge today saying the government, reading Aaron's notes here, the government had provided sufficient evidence that Combs is a danger to the community and a danger to obstruct justice and intimidate witnesses. A lot of this coming back to prosecutors saying he had tried to reach out to an alleged victim, saying essentially that if she continued to defend him and stayed on his side, financially she would be okay. They said that was a problem and made their argument today, and the judge coming down on the side of prosecutors.
Yeah, you can't be out here bribing the witnesses and the victims, Diddy.
Certainly did. And Brian, it sounds like he's going to be held.
He would be okay. They said that was a problem and made their argument today, and the judge coming down on the side of prosecutors.
50 Cent tried to warn us, man. Stop drinking the puffy juice.
Certainly did. And Brian, it sounds like he's going to be held in a special housing unit there in Brooklyn. Are you able to read us in on what that's like at all?
Yeah, so he's going to be in the Metropolitan Detention Center. We call it MDC. It's where Sam Bankman-Friedman, where R. Kelly was, pending prosecution. It is called a special housing unit, but people who are there call it the SHU, S-H-U. It's a part of segregated population.
Segregated housing unit, protective custody. So since they don't have a PCR for him, they're finna put that nigga in isolation. But I hear go at the same time too. He finna be in there living like a jailhouse king. This is still Diddy, so he got his phone in there. He got his 1-2 steps. He probably getting some coochie from a guard or whatever, little blah blah blah. So it's for a lot of reasons. It's for his own protection. Yeah, it's so they can't see what's happening. happening to him or what's being done to him, for better or for worse.
Or not in what you often hear as gen pop or general population. Some of the difficulties of that, I've had clients in the shoe, is sometimes they literally go missing for some 30, 45 days. It's sometimes a place where people go when they have infractions while they're incarcerated. And what I mean by disappear is they don't have access or full access to phones, the internet, calls. Sometimes when my clients go into the shoe, the first time I hear about it is when their family members say, Mr. Bryan, I can't find my son. I can't find my loved one. Where are they? And it's only through investigation that we find there's an infraction of something in the sense that they're in the shoe. So to the defense attorney's point, Mark, he's saying it's going to be much harder for him to try to mount a defense based on the limitations of where he'll be in that shoe. Again, SHU, not like SHOE, based on just the ins and outs of how
that segregated housing unit, SHU, shoe.
Segregated population works in MDC.
Wow, how times can change here. In nearly a year, this investigation has been going on, and it wasn't that long ago that Sean Diddy Combs was offered a key to the city there in New York, where he is now being held in a federal facility awaiting trial.
It was all good just a week ago, man.
And Brian, our thanks to both of you.
We up out here to the next one, man. Free Avenue Angel until he's free. This is an ugly, ugly, ugly situation, man. Free Avenue Angel until he's free, man. Red dots to the left, y'all know the rest. We up out here to the next one. Free Avenue Angel until he's free. We